very good morning to all the distinguished guests here. I want to thank the BW Business World for giving me this opportunity to briefly release this book. I will give a fleeting glimpse of what this book consists of. This is co-authored along with Hari Parachuri, my longtime friend. We met in college and we continue to keep meeting each other. Okay, so this is reverse gold rush on AI. If I look at the screen, I'll take more time, so let me not look at the screen. Yeah. Okay, those were about fighting with my co-author. We used to write one chapter and fight for 4 or 5 days, and that's the way it happens. We were actually writing another book called Co-Play on AI, which consisted of about 30 modes of interacting with AI. You know, that's about AI fluency, where the human and the AI interaction will be transformative, result-oriented, and quite experiential in itself. So we were writing that book, and in the middle of that, we segued into writing this book called The Reverse Gold Rush, because we wanted to humbly bring in an economic narrative on the landscape, how it is actually emerging. Now, some people call it a split, some people call it, it's a bubble or an opportunity. We are not saying whether it is bubble or an opportunity, it is actually both. Both the believers, the investors, as well as the skeptics who are making this commentary, both of them turn out to be right, because there are many such similar tech cycles that have happened in the past, which provided gap between the investment and the ROI. By the time they realized returns, it was quite some time. Traditionally, we have actually seen that the mines were built first. You know, the 1850s gold rush moment. That is, people have invested in mining. Of course, these enablers, investors and vendors have sold the shovels and tents and equipment, things like that. And a lot of people went there and mined gold, and they came home with gold. But here, we see that it is not actually happening. The enterprises are not showing up. The miners were not showing up, although the infrastructure is already there. Everything is supported by data. VCs have bet on these huge monies, but the results are very, very poor. This book is relying on a huge data, which is starting from MIT Nanda report to the latest Wharton report on how AI is actually taking shape, from investment in infrastructure to the fluency and adoption that we are looking at. I think it covers till the last month in November as well. Enterprises with several bottlenecks, with structural difficulties, they find it very difficult to actually make the most of it as of now. There will be a window of gap, and in that gap we are seeing something else. Where enterprises are not thriving, the individuals are actually thriving. They are making the most of it. The $20K per month versus $3 million kind of a pilot which did not work is the comparison here. So we all thought that the middle management will vanish, and in fact something else is happening. Based on data, we are saying that something else is happening. Large number of them are actually quitting the organizations armed with the knowledge of deployment of AI. They are becoming solopreneurs, and they are targeting micro niche segments which hitherto were not realized or hitherto unknown to large enterprises. And we are calling them babysitters. If you recall the incident that happened with Deloitte, where they gave the Gen AI output to their client, Australian government, and the Australian government sued them for giving wrong information or wrong data. They had to pay heavy price. It's not just the heavy price that they paid, there's a huge loss of face as well. So you need human verifiers to look at the output of AI and be very careful about it. And in fact, Deloitte has made one more mistake, one more similar mistake. I think they should be more creative. They should make newer mistakes, but they made a similar kind of mistake again. So it's a loss of face if you blindly follow that. So you need to have verifiers, and we call those verifiers babysitters. The rise of babysitters is the second phenomenon which we noticed and captured in this book. And these babysitters would have a problem of role clarity and future, and therefore they will leave the organizations, and they are leaving. They are living in big numbers. That forcing function and the step, we are at the step 5, where they're all exiting large organizations. And then they are becoming solopreneurs, which I talked about, targeting, say, 100 food trucks near Nehru Place, or 200 lawyers in and around NCR, or micro niches that they are catering to. Originally, we thought of actually talking about these modes. You can debate with them, you can rhythm with them, you can dance with AI, and then generate your output accordingly. So these methods were tested with 115 people across various countries, mostly Indians, but who are into AI. And then we kind of brought that into the book. And this is where we originally started writing co-play, but then, we talked about this economic narrative that was evolving, as I mentioned. So these hedges and this window that we are talking about is in great deal you can read in the book. Co-play was, we were talking that nobody is complete. The incompleteness principle which we brought in is only to say that with the machine and the man coming together, with the human and the AI coming together, we will be more complete. I think we'll be more transformative. We'll be bringing in the perspective of judgment, not just a comparison, not just efficiency, not just speed, but also depth. I think that is what we are getting to. And then you have several modes into which you can explore and build this practice of co-play. Okay. Don't buy here. You can buy here if you want to. So that's a small summary of this book. I could have taken more time, but I thought there is this constant pressure of organizers asking us to close it. So with this co-author, this is my second book. My friend Hari, who is watching us live, this is the second book with him. The earlier book was also launched by Bharat Bhaskar sir and Anil sir on a similar stage. That was Business Fables for School Children, teaching business fundamentals through animal stories. And a large number of schools are purchasing this book in bulk and gifting them or using them through various events and activities for the school. So these are the two books that I launched in this year. Other than Hari, there were other books. This is a mini biography and a full-fledged biography of our founder of ICFAI. The left one, the first forever, was launched a few months back, published by ICFAI University Press. On the right-hand side, I think in a day or two it is going to hit the stands. The Man Who Saw Tomorrow, the untold story of NJSSY. This is yet to be launched, but it is done already more or less. Rupa has published this book. Earlier, a couple of years back, I published this book, Wise Views. This is a compilation of my leadership conversations with various leaders. I have completed roughly around 218 such conversations. Every Friday, one takes place. And this is a journey of one of our alumni. She is an MBA student 20 years back at ICFAI and later became an MBBS doctor, medical doctor. And she navigated her journey very well. I was her mentor in some parts of her journey, and she captured what I actually gave her, what were the suggestions and how useful it were. So it's a kind of leadership journey, navigating difficulties at crossroads, and a little bit of mentorship here and there. The foreword was written by Professor Debashish Chatterjee, Director of IIM, Kozhikode. This was launched last week, and that's all. So these are 5 to 6 books this year, which we have. Thank you so much, all of you. Thank you, sir, for allowing me to launch this book and have a small discussion. But before I leave, I have 20 seconds to talk about something which I always wanted to talk here. For the young students who are present here, there's something called opportunity literacy. Opportunity literacy is you meet stalwarts in events like this, you take a selfie, you post it on your Instagram, and you go home and forget about it. That's not what you're supposed to do. My request and suggestion to youngsters like you may be from my business school or any other business school, but it is very, very useful for you to keep in touch with these stalwarts and leaders, get onto their LinkedIn, seek a connection, follow what they have posted, what they are talking about, understand the shared perspectives, invite them for one of the school activities, request for internship, invite them for an e-cell activity, pitch your idea, validate some thoughts that you have, and take it for a long-term commitment of, how you can seek mentorship. Whoever is free, have some time, ask for mentorship, and genuinely share some thoughts that you have which need validation and some kind of perspective. That is opportunity literacy. I think today's MBAs and tomorrow's MBAs will have to display a great deal of opportunity literacy. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for this opportunity.